This might be a short, excuse me, might be a short video. We'll see. We got thunderstorms and stuff today. And a little clearer. Sorry. Hasn't been that long since I woke up. It would get a little clearing right there, so maybe it'll clear up after a while. Making this video a little early because the mailman showed up early. But we shall see. Sorry about that. Okay. Comes to my attention how slow things are when you need them done. For instance, the way Texas is about their food stamp thing. I've sent everything that they needed. Now they want a receipt for something that you can't get a receipt for. So now I'm going to have to tell him that. Ooh, it's not going to be easy. Let me tell you about that man. That man has problems. I mean, he's got mental issues. I've got anxiety, but he's got worse. So every time he has a problem, he freaks out. Anyway, so their slow processes. What I think they're trying to do is make people stop going and getting it. And then the issue of, as of next month, certain states, not all of them, California's not like this. I don't know if they're going to ever do it, but in Texas, you can't buy, as of next month, can't buy sugary stuff. Like, I can't show the brand, but, soda. You're not going to be able to buy probably Kool-Aid either. Or, I don't know about sugar now. I mean, regular sugar, but I'm pretty sure that's probably part of it too. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's people out there with what is called the opposite of diabetes, but it's in the family, where the person is not producing enough sugar to sustain their body, which is what my spouse has problems. He has to eat sugary stuff to keep, for him bottom, he has to keep, because he doesn't produce sugar. Okay, let's put it to that way. Bottoming out is, I think, what I mean. Because we have a certain amount of sugar with that we have to produce in our bodies and stuff. I don't know the percentage or anything because I'm not no medical expert, believe it or not. I only know this from reading. But if you can't make sugar, you have to eat stuff that has sugar. And I just think it's wrong to do that. I mean, I understand that they want people to eat healthier and everything, but when you take something away that you need, and that's going to mess with your health, then that's wrong too. And that's exactly what some of these states are doing. It's not just Texas they're doing it. Some have already been doing it, but I mean, I think it's ridiculous. You know, this is my opinion. You know, everybody seems to think people on food stamps or SNAP, it depends on what area of the country you live in, what they call it, think that they go and run and buy lobster. I have never bought lobster. I have, I mean, not just because my spouse is allergic to seafood and my daughter-in-law is allergic to seafood, but because I won't eat something that you've got to cook. You got to put them in the pot alive, and to me that's cruelty. Anyway, I've never bought that. I've never bought filet mignon because it's expensive, and in order to stretch to make sure the food covered the month, I bought hamburger. I bought, yeah, I bought sweets too because everybody in the family likes sweets. But most of it, I say, all but maybe 30 of it went for regular food and, drink. Because, yeah, I like to drink this stuff. I'd rather drink this than liquor. And I drink water too. I have a bunch of water too that, I put in to the refrigerator and I got to put some more in there. But, I have my water. Here's my water. And I drink that at night. I drink the sodas up until a certain time. And then I drink water or Sprite or something. I might drink Sprite every now and then too. But I mean, it is ridiculous. You're making people that may have to have that sugar go without, and that's not good for their health. So I condemn anybody that says, you know, people shouldn't be allowed to buy anything with sugar. You don't know the store. You don't know if they need it or not. You know, parents these days don't buy junk food just to buy it on that stuff. They buy it maybe because it gives the kids treats, and that's another thing. You know, that means that come a child's birthday, they're not going to be able to have a birthday cake because you all that decide who buys what with the SNAP thing, you all decided to take all that stuff away. Well, that's wrong. That's totally wrong. That means you're trying to treat people that are on SNAP completely different from people who don't. And it's not just what you think as single lazy mothers. A lot of these single mothers work, by the way, and hold down jobs. They just don't get enough payment to where they can take care of the bills, food, and all that at the same time. So they need to SNAP. However, y'all want to condemn people just because they're on SNAP, and that's not right. If you're not on SNAP, you're going to condemn somebody for it. No, shouldn't be that way. We got people in Washington, D.C. making choices for us and not asking us personally how we feel. I mean, come on. Since when is that the way democracy works? It's supposed to be working for the people. And I mean all people, not just the rich people, but all people. So I don't understand why that even happens like that. Ever since President Trump, and I'll be polite and call him president because he is, unfortunately, for some of us. For those of you who like him, yeah, you got your wish. Anyway, ever since he started demeaning people because they're poor. Come on. When has that man ever done anything for people besides rich? He has done absolutely nothing for the poor. And y'all think he's the reason why the gas prices went down? No, he's not. You don't make that decision. Congress does. And a lot of them in Congress, and it doesn't matter party. If they're for all this craziness that is going on, then they shouldn't be in office. People should have the right to make their own decisions about what they buy, how they live. And what I mean by that, I don't mean, people want to be on drugs. No, that's not what I mean. Because drugs are bad, okay? Believe me, I'm a recovering drug addict. And I've been clean for 30 something years now, so, since 95, you do the math. But what the problem is that, with food stamps, it's crazy, you know? Because they're singling out people that can't afford to take cash out of their pocket and buy this stuff for the kids or for, if they need it for their, medical thing. What does it take a medical doctor to tell you that here, this person needs that sugar stuff so they can keep their life from going and get where they get sick? No, that shouldn't happen either. So I think they need to redefine and let people buy what they want to buy. You know, if you want to stop people from buying lobster and this and that, like the high price stuff, then stop that. Allow them to buy chicken and hamburger and pork. You know, three basic food groups right there. And, hot dogs and that stuff. Allow them to buy just that. Don't allow them to buy filet mignon. Don't allow them to buy lobster or any kind of, you know, fish, or octopus. And people do eat octopus, by the way. It's called calamari, sorry. With hardly any teeth, it's hard to talk. Um, so that's my stance on it. I think it's wrong for the SNAP people, or who's ever in charge of making the rules for that decided to do that, whoever, Congress, whoever. I think that was wrong. You know, because now you're zeroing in on poor kids that won't have a birthday cake because their parents can't afford it. Well, food stamps they could. Well, now they can't. So you tell me how right. Would you like your child to have to go through that? I wouldn't. Whether they're able to buy the packaged stuff and make it that way, it should be fine. Yeah, there's people that need to stop eating sugar, that are actual diabetic, and I understand that. But you need to give people the option in whether they want to buy the stuff or not. I mean, when I was borderline, I laid off a lot of sugar. I don't eat that much sugar anymore myself. Yeah, I eat like maybe this, but I don't eat them all day. I don't sit there and eat a whole can within a day. I've got cupcakes and stuff like that too. I barely eat it. So let's bring it back to where people can buy what they want. You know, instead of forcing them to have to pull money they don't have because they're used to drinking and eating stuff with sugar in it. Sugar's not bad. It's the sugar. It can be a bad thing if you overdo it. But if you don't overdo it, then you should be fine. I don't know why all this is coming up now, after years of being able to. And yeah, because I'm on it, you know, I would have to adjust. So, you know, I'm just saying that people do need to, because their bodies don't make it, do need to have that sugar to help keep them from getting ill, which would cost the country money for the, especially if they're on, like in California's Medi-Cal. In Texas, they don't have anything like that. It's Medicaid or Medicare. I don't know about any other, state because those are only two states I've ever had medical and everything. You know, it just it seems to me petty of them. It's petty of Trump to stop people from buying sugar stuff. Meanwhile, his kid can sit there and eat as much as he wants, right? Because he got money. Well, he wouldn't have that money if it wasn't for his father. And his stance on immigrants, I don't understand that either, being his mother was from some little place in Scotland. And he married, and during his marriages, he married two women that were immigrants when they first met. So, I mean, that's a problem too. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to cut this short because I don't know when he's going to be back up here, and he doesn't like it when I'm on camera. Sorry for the dishevelment. I just woke up. I didn't have time to change and brush my hair for the day, but I got to go do that. Anyway, everybody have a good day. Hope everybody's, you know, getting along and everything, because we need to stop fighting. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever. I mean, this is what Trump's doing. He's separating, people from just because they're political beliefs. And that's not right either. I mean, each of them have the good and bad in their parties. There's some that work really hard, and then there's some that don't. There's some that, believe this, and some that don't believe that. You can't put an idea in a person's mind and expect them to follow it if they don't believe it. So, that's just me. Okay? I'll see you guys in the next one. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Our mailman's going on vacation, so I might be gone for a couple of months. Not months, but days and stuff like that. So, I'll see you in the next video. Everybody have a good day. Bye-bye.